Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday.
Why is there a chicken involved? All right, let's get started here because I want to go home.
Into a chicken.
I already said that, dude.
Right there at the
He
end.
did that on purpose. All right. Okay, so we're talking about Dice Tower Con. We'll be taking questions. If you have any questions about Dice Tower Con, whether you're going or not, we're talking specifically about Dice Tower Con 2019, which we're heading to soon. I'm heading up Sunday. You guys are heading up Monday.
That's
not
correct.
too far off.
Monday.
Monday.
July uno.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that we're getting ready for. All the different shows we're doing. We're auctioning off over 1,000 games plus.
Say what?
And that's our own auction. There's also the Dice Tower Con auction.
That's right.
So there's just a lot of games we're
Lots
taking
of
up, and tables,
for getting juicy stuff, juicy games.
hot games, table games.
Mm-hmm.
It's been most of this
like
week has
30
been like getting stuff
There's
together.
like 30 of those, right?
Yeah.
Hot
Well,
games tables?
You'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
Set one up, I'll be like, that's one. Set up another one.
Yep.
It'll be good. It'll be a good area.
So, yeah, so, I mean, again, we realize that everyone watching can come to Dice Tower Con, but hey, maybe, you know, if you can't, you'll find out about how the con works and everything
How
for
cool
future
it is.
years and stuff like that.
Yep.
So if you have any questions, you can ask us. You can ask us questions about anything, really, but Dice Tower Con questions will take precedence. What are you most excited about?
Can I say the swimming pool?
Are you really?
I really like that swimming pool.
I didn't even know you used it.
Oh, yeah. My kids love it. They love the little slide thing and they love the waterfall thing.
No, that
on
swimming
the other
pool
side.
is
It's amazing.
amazing. Yes.
But for the actual con, I just like meeting people, man. I just like seeing people. Playing games with different people. And that's one of the things we get to do the most at
true.
this
This one, yeah.
convention. We can't usually do that in most of the conventions we go to, but this one we can.
Yeah, I play probably more games at the Gathering, maybe, and I play maybe more games at the Retreat. Dice Tower Retreat, I played more games than anywhere else ever.
Right.
But that's because we do shows and stuff at Dice Tower
Yeah.
Con.
The
And that's what I'm
Gathering is
looking forward to the most, the shows. Because I
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoy those shows
No, yeah, they are
in
fun.
front of a live
They're like our
crowd.
shows, and everyone's there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like, no one wanders in and is like, who are these guys? Usually like,
Idea, hopefully. I mean,
well, no, that happens sometimes. We've had people come and like, I didn't even know who you were, but my spouse dragged me to this convention.
Right.
That
and
happens.
that's fine if you're having fun. We don't need you to know who we are, but I do
Right.
enjoy doing the shows, like the trivia shows and all that stuff is really fun, and you know, with a crowd there, people getting into it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I look forward. I like the hot games area. I like having the games sit up and sitting down, playing them. I like that whole. I know you guys don't. You don't know what I'm talking about, but that whole 7 to 9 a.m. time slot where I
Say
show
what?
up. Yeah.
People are up at
Wait,
that
we're
time.
open that time?
It's 24 hours. It's funny because Dice Tower Con's open 24 hours, but it's really 21, 22 hours because
I was waiting for you to say like 25, 26 hours. That's what I was,
that
I was
one
like, how's that possible?
that like 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. There's pretty much nobody there.
Well, yeah.
I
You
show
would
up-
know that because you're awake at that
I
time.
usually show up around 6:37, and I get there and there's like 1 or 2 people there. But if you want to play a game with me, that is the time because
Yes, sir.
I'm
Ain't
there and I'm
nobody
ready.
else there.
A
but-
two-player game.
You gotta have.
So what people do is they stay up. So I'll go there. You know, I'm going to bed at midnight. And I'm like, I wonder how many people are still awake. And it's like, oh, everyone.
Yeah. Midnight is still going.
You can't really like tell like there's a drop in people.
It's much later. Werewolf, baby. That's right.
And then I don't know what's like the latest you've ever stayed up there.
3-ish, probably.
No.
No.
I usually don't. I got it. I
9:30?
used to be not 9:30.
8 o'clock sharp.
No, like
Time to hit the bed.
midnight.
Dinner at 4 p.m. Bed by 7.
No, like midnight is probably. I think we stayed up playing the Dead of Winter Flick 'em Up till like maybe 2 o'clock a couple years ago.
And then you're pretty much out after
And
that
that's
point.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I was like, Are we done yet? I gotta go.
Here's what I think's funny. When I've only done this a few times, but I'll stay up to like 1:30, and usually when I'm done, there's always someone who's like, "Now what are we gonna do?" Like, go to bed.
I'm going to bed.
But I asked the guys who stay up overnight, the night shift, that 2 to 6, which is like and they said at around 3 or 4, there's a few of those long games that are finishing up. But people usually aren't starting games at that point.
Okay, right.
Of course.
Makes sense.
One person here says, Kabuki says, lack of sleep is why people tend to get con crud. And I completely agree on that. People are like, oh, I got con crud from shaking people's hands. Well, maybe, from touching other people. But a lot of people get con crud because you treat yourself like garbage at a con.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Don't.
Yeah.
Get the sleep in. I mean, the people. And also, if you, let's say you say, I only need 4 hours of sleep. I don't want to be around you, really, because you're kind of cranky and tired. And
That's what I was just thinking. Not only does it weaken your immune system, it also weakens your emotional state. And you're more likely to fly off the handle and overreact on things that you wouldn't normally do.
Or just like it'll be harder for you to take in rules, which means more explanations. Mm-hmm. It just sort of will fray a play experience a little more if people are
I
tired.
distinctly remember one time I played a game at Origin, Cosmic Encounter, and it was like 11:50, and they're like, let's play. And I was like, oh, I got to go back. Come on, it's your favorite game. I was like, oh, all right, I'll play it. And I really wanted to punch someone in that game. And it just was because I was so tired. And, someone like double crosses you, you're like, wait a minute, when you're tired. And so Jim here says that 1 a.m. Miss Thea almost did salmon at Come On Expo.
Yes.
Yeah?
You played Miss Thea at 1 a.m.?
Well, no, we started at like, I don't know, it was like maybe 11-ish when we actually started playing it. But yeah, it was I was okay with it. We were there with a couple of people that had already played the game. One guy who had played it many times, and so I was fine. I can handle that. It's just that I usually don't.
Hang.
I don't want to do it every single night.
To me, I find that as the night goes later, I would rather just play silly games.
Sure,
Those
that's not
big,
bad.
grandiose games are tough to play at night.
Yeah. Something goofy, after midnight is fine. And those games do well at that time because you're kind of loopy anyway.
Yep.
Someone said, what are the chances I can get Jason Levine to teach me how to play Puerto Rico? I don't know, hunt him down.
Pretty high, especially if you get Tom to play with you.
Thanks.
I'm just saying.
I hear the sound of a bus. Running Tom over.
I'm just saying, if you want to get a game with Jason in, make sure that Tom's playing too, because Jason will play any game at any point in time as long as Tom's playing.
That's not quite true. No, he's pulling me off for if
He has?
Yeah, well, no, if I'm playing
I've
a
never
game.
seen it.
Well, here's what happens. I'll come on the game meetup, and I'll have these games. He'll be like, let's play that game. And I'll go, oh, I'm playing this one. Sometimes just
that's you, though.
Sometimes just to be a jerk. And then he'll be like, oh, I don't really want to play that game that badly. And then someone else will be like, 18XX.
Yeah.
And he'll float over to
That's
that.
a very specific set of circumstances.
Yeah.
But it's happened multiple times.
Doesn't matter. I think what Sam said holds true.
Bet at 1, up at 7. 6 hours is great. Yeah, just make sure people leave the con at 1 and come back at 7. That's not 6 hours of sleep.
Maybe 5.
Because you got to
Well,
go
it
back.
said up at 7.
Yeah, that's true. I also think it's important at cons to get some food in your body at some point. So people be sitting there and they're like, "Oh, I got a granola bar. I'm good."
Sure.
That's my diet.
You'll
Granola
enjoy
bars?
it. I mean,
No.
you will make
Just
more.
don't eat during conventions.
I've been at conventions with you.
Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
That's what it feels like some people do, though.
I agree.
That's like,
A lot of things go out the window that should not for you
Right.
to enjoy your time there. Cramming in more time playing does not necessarily increase the quality of that time playing. In fact, could have the opposite effect on other people's nostrils. For example, just
olfactory sense.
as a general rule of thumb.
Someone said,
Watch
not a
yourself.
con question, but you should do a top 10 seal of excellence board games and a top 10 seal of approval. If we did a top 10 seal of excellence games, that's our top 10 games.
Correct.
right?
Pretty much.
Top 10 seal of approval, I'd be like, okay,
Those
numbers
are 10 pretty good games.
220 to 230. I don't know where that would be,
yeah,
right?
No.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea, but it's not practical.
Jeff says, I'm planning on staying up for the whole time. Then you're not staying by me. If I come in there and you're like, I'll be like, hey, cool. This game's probably for people who slept and showered.
Well, he's staying. Oh, but he's not saying he's not showering.
So you're saying they're going to stagger back to their hotel room,
Shower,
come back,
and then go back to gaming.
I'm sorry, but if someone's like, I'm up the whole time, that kind of gives me the idea that that's pretty much no showering's included in that.
You can't carry his steroids around with him everywhere, so he has to go back to his room, take a shower, shoot up, and then come back.
What are we talking about?
Steroids.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Juice up so you can soldier
How about
on.
just like a good shake? You know, a real nice.
Right, so
fruit
the
shake.
rule that the people are saying here is a 6-2-1 rule. 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and 1 shower.
Every day.
Sure.
That's very malleable for different people, though.
I agree. I mean, sleep what you need to sleep. And meals, 2 is...
And I'll talk about the showers momentarily. Go ahead. Meals, 2 meals.
Well, also, the convention is taking place in Florida. So you could make it...
We're
How
up
about
to-
a 7-3-2?
But
That's pretty good. 7-3-2.
2 showers a day?
Well, for some people... I like how you said that with such disgust.
No, but why would
2
you?
showers?
I only take a shower
What do you want me
a
to
day.
fade away? I
No,
only have so much
Some people
skin.
take a shower when they get up and when they go to bed because you can sleep real comfortably if you take one right before you go to bed.
right.
I call that a waste of water.
And I call it a public service.
You just said you jumped in. You said you jumped in the pool. I'm sorry. Your shower is like a drop of that pool. Have you seen how big that pool is? I don't hear about no waste of water.
True. I'm just talking.
That pool is like cycling all day long.
Right, but that's recycled water
with a little
with the little bit of,
Sam. in
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna disagree here. This person says jump into the pool equal a shower.
No.
I do not, by the way, want to see anybody in that pool pull out the bar soap and be like, gotta get back to gaming, and my room's on the 2nd floor. What kind of horrible setup is that?
Z, have you ever gone through the whole gift series in one go?
No. And the whole,
Well, good news for you. This person's bringing all of them.
Now's your chance.
I'll be showering at the time. No, I've never gone through them all in a single sitting. Is that what they mean? No, and I've also never done the whole combining them thing. That's insanity. It's a cool idea, but you know, the idea of like, oh, I want to use this extra piece in this game, but for me to unlock it, we have to pause this game and play that one. And if I win in that game, then I get this piece that I can use in the original game. That's a rule in that system. I use those pieces, but I just do that. I don't do that whole unlocking them thing.
All right, Michael goes back to his
Still have the remnants of snack
original question saying, is there a way to get in touch with Jason prior to something, or just ask him at the con? Just ask him at the con.
Yeah.
There already is schedules and stuff. Just your best bet is to ask people, and then, but not to get upset if they say no. Right?
That's right.
Realize this because people come up like, hey, you want to play this game? And one of 2 things may happen. 1, I may not have time, and 2, I may not just want to play that game at that point.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is one of your favorite games. Yeah, but I'm not always in the mood to play my favorite games at all times.
We're sometimes during this convention, maybe a lot of the time, running kind of ragged also because we're doing a lot. So, you know, you got to be understanding about those things.
Yes.
Isn't the hall kept very cold? Should keep sweating to a minimum. That's true, and that's one of the reasons. That's why when someone comes to me and goes, the hall is too cold, I automatically just turn you off in my head. If you make that complaint to me, I don't even entertain it. The hall needs to be kept cold for 2 reasons. 1, in Florida, every time a door is open to the outside, hot air comes in, and if you don't keep that air conditioning up, the whole place will go boom, hot really quick.
Yeah.
That happens here at our, was it 2 days ago here, right? In our studio, we're running the air conditioner like crazy. But it was so sunny outside
was so
that
hot
parts of the
outside.
house were like 10 degrees higher.
Yeah, it was over 100 that day. I remember. It was like 101.
But the other reason is, yes, it keeps everyone from getting hot and sweaty, which keeps tempers down, and keeps
It's true.
smell down. It
100%.
really does work. So bring a jacket
You can always
and
dress
shiver
up
a
to
little
the
bit.
cold.
Yeah. You don't
You
want to see
start-
people start
You start
removing
shedding
clothing.
stuff to dress down to the heat.
That's problematic.
It doesn't be. It's no longer a family convention at that point.
It's no longer a convention I want to be part of. What's the one game you all really like to play at the con this year?
That we would like to play at the con?
Yeah, like So for me, I'm always looking to try some new games out and play some old ones. The one new game I'd like to play that I haven't played, I'm putting on a hot game table, is Pipeline. That looks interesting to me. So I'm curious to try that one out.
Yeah.
I might even
few-
play Batman, but the problem with Batman is Vernon's going to be teaching it, and I'm not sure I want to get destroyed in a game.
There's an easy way to do that. You become the bad guy. He loves playing the bad guy.
Why are you talking like Christopher Walken?
Was I?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Pauses are interesting, but it's all
That would be more like this. I
Okay.
don't know. I have no idea.
Anyway, he wants you. So you're saying he should be the bad guy?
Yeah, because
And that would throw him off because he doesn't know how to be the good guy?
he usually doesn't play the
Oh, I
good
see
guy.
what you're saying. Okay, you're right. Also, you could slap him.
He likes being the bad guy in those kinds of games with the others, with Conan,
do that.
with Batnam.
Batnam. I'm here to fight crime. I'm Batnam.
That was straight to DVD.
Yes.
How far is it between a hotel and a convention center? Jeff says I have a couple fractures in my knee and debating about a scooter.
Yes. From your hotel room to the convention with the fractured whatever, that's going to be a while.
It depends. There is that one. There's the hotels are like in a ring, and there's one hotel that's close.
But even
But even
even
from the
in that
closest one, honestly, I would probably, if you have a fractured knee,
yeah.
you might want to consider bringing a scooter.
Even if it's just one of those ones that has like your knee up on the
Right.
you're leaning on your knee and pushing with the other one, that would be.
Just get the Gloomhaven box. Put 4 casters on that, okay? Leave the game at home. Just bring the box. Done. Oh, and a little paddle.
And hope it rains.
No, casters are wheels.
Oh.
There you go.
Casters. See, I even figured that out just.
Yeah, I know.
I did not know what casters were, but
Caster, yeah, it's a
I
wheel.
got it.
No, that'll work.
Yeah, but if it's a downpour, you don't even need those.
I guess so.
No, you would, because eventually you're going to have to come back up onto shore, so you'll need the casters on at that point.
I'm so sorry I start these things sometimes.
No, the good news. Okay, so speaking of which, if it does pour down rain, you'll be fine because there's like a covered walkway from the hotel
Yeah.
to the convention center.
But it's like 6 feet wide, and
Well,
in
let's just-
Florida, that does no good whatsoever
Oh, it's
if it's a
fine.
Yeah,
downpour.
well, sure, but if the downpour in Florida, you also go done.
Yes, exactly.
So there's that.
Bringing umbrellas is what I'm saying. You won't be disappointed unless it doesn't rain.
This is everyone's talking about AC. It's kind of funny because I recorded a show with Eric last night for the podcast, and his AC was out all day.
I heard. I saw it online. And he
I
was
said-
wearing ice packs or something while
He
recording.
put ice pack because not only was he recording without AC, then he's inside the recording booth.
Yeah, that gets
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah, and I said I know he's not in Florida because he went that long without the AC.
Yeah.
In Florida, you're like, save me!
It's problematic
Woo, woo, woo,
immediately.
woo, woo. Here comes the AC repair unit.
That's
That
a
is
problem.
Very true.
The second it
I would
breaks.
seriously, I could survive in the middle of the summer in Florida with fans blowing on you, yeah, fine. But I would seriously consider going to stores, just going to walk around stores, driving in your air-conditioned car, or even the worst of the worst, staying in a motel.
Yep.
If it's really out. You had your air go out like a week or so ago.
Yeah, it did. For a couple of nights.
Really?
Yeah. And I have a lot of fans. I own a lot of fans, and so I did that anyway. So
Yeah, but you don't want to move
have a
around
lot
your
of
house. You kind of like just sit somewhere.
I like fans.
Aren't you modest?
Oh, you have a lot of fans.
I have a lot of fans.
Oh,
100,000
okay,
of them.
I got it.
All right. Is there a Play with Dice Tower Network folk set of tables anywhere? Yeah, it's the hot games area. So we will be in more than just the Hot Games, but if you're looking, there should be someone from Dice Tower Network in the Hot Games during the day period. I have people scheduled to be there from like 10, like 8. Well, 6
We'll
is
be
when it
around.
starts.
We're likely, if we're not doing something else or in a game or whatever, we are also likely to be in that area.
You have a good chance of finding me there.
Yeah. There's definitely a few games in that area I want to play or replay. So I will be there as well, checking some of those out, teaching some of those games that I already played and liked, so I'll teach those.
I will be there.
What kind of balance do you use between assigned plan tables versus open to all? There's very few assigned tables. Very, very few. We have the Hot Games tables, which are still open tables. You just sit down and play
Only
them.
the game is assigned, not the people. Is that what they mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few publishers who have a table for demo purposes, and there's a few, like,
Sure.
Portal Games has a whole room of tables for that. But for the most part, if there's someone who says they control a table and they're running a Kickstarter, they're lying to you. That's probably the truth of it. You know, that happens a lot of cons where someone will come and they open up like a mini booth. What? I'm just showing my game off. No, you're not.
Huh. Interesting.
Especially if they camp there the whole day.
Right.
Yeah, but there's tons of open gaming. Now, I do recommend not waiting to the last second to find a table. I get the table first, then the game, really.
Yeah.
And also, be considerate of other people. If you're 2 people playing a game, I'd ask you to consider one thing. If, let's say, you are with a friend or a spouse or whatever, and you're there, and you pull out a 4-player game and you sit down and play 2-player, why not play it 4-player? Why not look for some other people? Because you're taking up a table. And then some people will play in the middle of a table. So, Zee decides to play a game right here. And I'm like, well, what about that? Play on the side of the table so that other people can get in there. It's just courtesy
Just
stuff.
be
Common
thoughtful of your usage of space. Yeah.
Common courtesy.
Zee, this or that. Pork pie or poke in the eye? What does that even mean?
Did you say pork pie?
Or
Poke in
poke
the eye?
in the eye?
I guess I guess pork pie. I don't like pork, but I also don't want to get poked in the eye.
Right?
I feel like that too, right?
Pork pie isn't gonna hurt me.
It could. If the pork's undercooked, it could kill you.
It's true. Poke in
So
the
you
eye.
might want to take a poke in the eye. In that
Poke
case.
in the eye
Everyone
with
is
a
talking
sharp
about
pig.
AC. Is Smartphone Inc. going to be on the Hot Games? Yes, for sure. I just finished the Smartphone Inc. Kickstarter's going up this week, actually, so I just did the playthrough of that. So I know it's going to be there because I just put it back in the box. When I say I put it back in the box, someone put it back in the box.
I'll be bringing my Joan of Arc.
Are you?
Yeah.
2-player? Can you play 4?
Yes.
Oh, really? Is it fun with 4?
Yeah.
Are you bringing a
It's
dragon?
2 teams. No, I'm just bringing the base box.
Garbage. If there's no
Not
dragon,
bringing
no player.
everything. No,
Come
that's
on, man.
way too much to take.
Why can't you bring everything? Just carry it in a small suitcase.
Bring
You
the
carry it.
dragon. What if that gentleman's scooter breaks? You could use that dragon.
to fly?
It's a large enough
It's very
miniature.
large. It's very large.
I'm glad the Indian in the cupboard thing doesn't exist.
Imagine.
Oh, that would
especially
be
with
cool.
board gamers.
Be putting miniatures in there all day, man. Are you
Yeah,
kidding
but can you
me?
imagine like the others?
I know. You
Oh
put them in and be
my.
like,
Closing
open it
it
up,
like-
be like, oh, I made mistakes.
like a little Cthulhu.
Would be terrifying.
Is that like scary for B?
That would still be
He'd
creepy.
be like,
I mean, he can eat reality, I think. So, yeah.
yeah, the Indian in the cupboard movie has to be set in a time period where there's very few plastic things.
Yeah.
Because today board gamers would be like, let's see what happens.
You can 3D print anything and stick it
Oh,
in the
now
cupboard.
the 3D printer. Everything's
about
changed.
that?
That would be horrible.
There's a horror story in there somewhere.
The 3D printer. Yeah, it is about time for them to make a 3D printer horror movie.
Well, combine that with the Indian in the cupboard, and you got a really a great tale of someone who it's like a Pet Cemetery thing.
Ah.
Like the
Just
kid loses
thinking
a
that.
pet, he 3D prints one, puts it in the cupboard, comes to life. It's kind of like a similar thing.
Well,
yeah.
Stephen King wrote this short story about the camera, and every time they took a picture, this dog was like
Oh, the
running.
sun dog, yeah.
It kept getting closer to the picture. I'd be like, stop taking pictures.
Cut it
you
out.
know, it seems really obvious to
I'd
me.
be buying a new camera. Just saying.
So maybe the 3D printer starts coming, and you start seeing the legs, and you're like,
Oh, you don't know what it's printing. It starts printing at night on its own.
and then you unplug it, and it
keeps
still keeps
going,
printing.
but you don't know what it's making.
That's when you move.
That's when you burn the house down.
Well, that's when you throw that 3D printer
Actually, that's
out.
when you call HP and be like, hey, I have a faulty printer. And they just come in and fix it.
Roy says this will be my wife's and my first con. We're excited, but we can't get there until Thursday. That's fine. You will miss our fantastic auction on Wednesday night, but there will be still a lot of cool stuff going
Tons going on after that, yeah.
on. Hunter Shelbourne wants to play Joan of Arc with Sam.
That might be a thing, Hunter.
Will Dwellings of Eldervale be there?
Ooh.
Is Breaking Games there? I don't remember.
I don't know.
It would have to be a very prototype.
I don't know.
Probably not, but maybe, but probably not.
Oh, no idea. We're talking about Indian in the Cupboard. Indian in the Cupboard is a book series, also a movie,
Oh, we just
where this
got
kid,
aged.
where a kid found a cupboard
got
and he put
aged.
plastic figures inside, but when he opened it up, they came to life.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a horror story, but it wasn't really.
It's a sweet coming of age kind of story.
Yeah.
Think of Night at the Museum, but in a kid's bedroom.
Yeah. Although, as the books went by, it got fairly heavy with what happened.
Really.
Yeah, it was some pretty. They really dealt with some of the stuff. Some of the people died.
And I certainly hope nobody says, "What's Night at the Museum?"
Well, someone's gonna say it now that you said that.
All right.
Brad says, sadly, I live in Orlando and never been to the con. What?
Say what?
Cthulhu in Your Pocket. That's a board game, probably.
I'm still not going to Google it.
3D printing horror sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Have you watched the new season yet?
Yeah, I saw two of them, the first and the last, I guess.
I saw
heard
the
it
first and the
was
second.
not
Both of those were
nearly as
not good, like really bad.
I heard it was not nearly as good as the others, and I haven't watched it. I'm just. What
Apparently,
people
I've
have been
seen the
saying.
two worst ones because I saw the first one
Try to think what the middle one was about now. I know what the first one was about.
and I was just like, man, it wasn't interesting. And then I was like, okay, well, let me watch the last one, and that one was really not interesting.
Oh, that's the one with the Britney Spears in it. Not Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. That's the one I
She
haven't
still
seen.
go by that name? That's not her name anymore.
Miley Cyrus.
No,
is
Hannah
her-
Montana
Hannah
was
Montana
her-
is the one that was a fake name.
Oh, okay.
Which I
Yes, that's right.
I still call her Hanny. Hanny Montani. Yeah, it was really bad.
Annie
Did you see it?
Cyrus?
The third one? No, that's the one I haven't seen yet.
What a lame
What?
episode. It was really lame.
What, for Black Mirror? You're still talking about Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Oh, the second one though doesn't necessarily feel like it's Black Mirror. The second one feels like it could happen right now.
That's the thing that was missing for me, I think, in all of these. They forgot the part that makes Black Mirror Black Mirror. It's about technology gone awry.
Well, the first one was technological.
Yeah, come on, barely. It was barely about a video game. And then the last one, again, kind of barely about that. They were just kind of weak sauce. The previous stuff was much better.
Weak sauce.
Oh, Jim says Peter's going to send him dwellings at the hotel, and Vernon's going to paint it, and he's going to have it out Thursday.
Oh, my.
There you go.
There we have it.
Not a con question. Portal won't be at Dice Tower Con? Some people from Portal are at Dice Tower Con. I know this for sure. I know Ignacy Trebuchet won't be there, but he told me some of his guys will be there.
Okay. There you
Not a con question, but I've been trying to remember how long I've been watching you all, and I know the top 10s were one combined list back then. That was like the first few we did, right? We combined them. We all made it. We combined it, and then we did like a few picks.
And then there was a time where we did it every once in a while. Where if it was a list that we thought we would have a lot of overlap on,
Then we would combine
then we
them.
would combine them. But if we thought that there would be enough difference between the two,
we
any
like
case, it's
we
been a
like
few
arguing.
years.
yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a while. It's been years. How long has that been, you think, Tom? 6 years?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you've been watching for a while.
Would be fun to put the Arcadia Quest minis in the cupboard. No, because they would come out and their head would go, oh!
This is like,
I can't carry my head. The heart wouldn't be able to pump enough blood.
oh, poor
Chibis
little-
might be cute, but they're
little
not like.
chibis.
They're not like.
Little chibis.
Every chibi has a heart attack on the spot.
Oh my goodness! You weren't kidding about it getting dark. Jeez.
Arcadia Quest turns into zombicide.
What else we got?
There's a couple people are asking what night at the museum is, just to mess with Sam, of course.
Come on. Folks,
Why
if
y'all
you're
gotta be
typing
trolling?
it, what's night at the museum, and Sam says, "Oh, I bet people are gonna ask what's night at the museum." Now, that's when you go, "Oh, you delete, you delete." It's called the missed joke.
Now people are talking about Black Mirror. Just got married and my wife vowed to learn the rules to half my board games. Any tip to keep her to the promise?
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations on getting married. I'm being sincere.
Yes,
Congratulations.
for that part. Continue on.
Look, if she promised to learn half of your games, like, all the rules to half of your games, I guess it should not matter that much if she keeps that promise or not.
Well,
It's neat that she wants to partake of your hobby with you. I would not be a stickler about, well, honey, you learned 48% of them. I have a problem with that.
Well, also, how was the promise made? Did she say she would learn half the rules? Like, I'll learn the setup and the
I think
first
she meant,
phase
that's why
of the game?
I did rephrase the way I was going to say that, Tom, very carefully. She's going to learn the rules to half your games. Now she's going to learn half the rules to your games. That is a very different thing.
I have a lot of people that
Like,
I teach games
he'll bring out
who
a
only learn
game.
half the rules.
Bring out a game, set it up. He'd be like, you learned the rules for this, honey, right? I know the winning conditions.
Yep.
I know how to win. I don't know anything else.
All right.
Well, that does take up the first 5 minutes of a game explanation usually.
There you go.
So
Is it frowned upon to bring your own
jumpstart it.
prototype and request playtesters? No. So if you bring your own prototypes, people do that, right?
Yeah.
You got to be you have to use decorum doing it. So you say, hey, you want to play my prototype? You have to be prepared for people to say no, and you shouldn't pressure people to do it. Some people don't like to play prototypes.
Right.
And secondly, if you do that, that's fine, but you shouldn't camp a table and have it all day long. No one else does that. I don't go and say, I'm going to play
Well-
Rising Sun, and now it's done. Let's play Rising Sun again.
Actually, people do that.
Well, I frown on that.
Yeah, they do. They do that because I've seen it. They'll have 4 people. They'll each go get one game, and then they'll camp at that table and play all 4 of their games. So, I don't know. I
think that's not so
I
bad.
can see arguments for both sides of it, but at the same time,
Yeah, but camping at a table and playing your prototype, like
yeah, that's
preying on people to play your prototype, I frown on that probably more than you do. Because again, just don't strong arm people. If you're gonna do it in a very gentle way.
yeah.
Because those things can go awry quickly.
There's a lot of prototype cons. That's not what our con is for, really.
Correct.
What happened to gaming potpourri? Well, first
I know
of all,
not of what you speak.
It's a fabulous name, by the way.
that Zee came up with it. No, that was me.
I knew he didn't.
I did not remember. It's been a while.
I don't remember. Well, that show has morphed into a lot of things, like BackTalk and stuff.
That show was the jumping off point for most of what the Dice Tower is today. Hyperbolic much? I think not.
Yep.
What was that show called that turned into The Simpsons? There was there was that.
Wasn't it some late night show that, like some talk show, where they would show those and then it became its own thing?
Yeah, that's what gaming potpourri was.
Yeah.
It became the Dice Tower eventually.
There you go. Wow.
Favorite place to eat at the resort? In a car.
Outside the resort.
Outside. And 100% that's the case. If you go around the corner from the resort, there is hundreds of places to eat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chick-fil-A.
oh,
There's
Chick-fil-A is just right up the street.
There's a place across the street also. I forget if it's Chinese food or
There's a
what
Chinese
it
and a
is.
Mexican place right across the street. But even
I
those.
thought there was pizzas too.
Oh, and there's a wings place that's pretty close. But
There's
honestly,
stuff around there. You can just walk across the street
and because
or drive.
or
hotel
Uber Eats,
is-
Grubhub, all that, you can
Oh,
get
sure.
that delivered in now. So
The hotel is like uber expensive.
it's
It's like really expensive.
quite pricey. Now we ate at the steakhouse there one time because someone else paid, and it was really, really good. But
But yeah, it's expensive.
You gotta pay through
yeah,
the nose.
you're paying for that. I will say I went to at night. I would often go to that in the main lobby. There was that little place that sells drinks and ice creams and stuff. I'd go there and buy something once in a while because I didn't feel like going off.
Still not cheap.
But the good thing about this hotel is that every room has the fridges and stuff, and you can on the way up we always stop at Publix and fill up our
First
fridge.
night.
That's
the
it.
First night. Yep.
That's it, exactly. If you're driving in, or even if you are able to get someone to take you over to a grocery store, grab a few things for yourself. You can keep them in the room, no problem, and you're set.
Yeah, we did that for every breakfast.
Yeah.
I bought Pop-Tarts and
And just having
bananas
drinks
and stuff like
available
that,
and whatever,
and
you
orange
know.
juice. It makes life better.
He makes it sound a lot healthier than probably what was in there.
I said Pop-Tarts, and then it's like, oh, also fruit.
I bought a lot of veggies
Unsweetened yogurt.
and refined sugars.
Refined sugars. Stevia. So.
Let's see, where are we at here? I'm following on the resort is not great. Okay,
The resort is not what?
someone's talking about, they're still talking about food. Now, the night at the museum is the one with that green guy and a donkey. I played prototypes at Dice Tower Con. Advice: be prepared for criticism. Well, yes, that's the whole point of playing a prototype, I would hope.
Aren't you asking for that?
If so, you
kind
could play a
of?
prototype, someone's like, I don't really like this. No one asked you. Well, all right then.
Yeah, man.
Showing up on Tuesdays or anything that happens that night. In previous years, one of the halls has been open Tuesday night-ish, but don't count on that happening. I don't think it is this year. But the main lobby of the hotel, there's like 10 tables down there. They're always full of people gaming or at least hanging out, just talking to each other.
Yeah.
That happens every Tuesday. That's where I'll be. I usually go, I'll help set up, and then I'm just hanging around in that hotel area down there. I might just hang out and talk to people too, because there's not a ton of gaming space there.
Yeah.
Also, you could even game out around the pool. There's all those little cabana type.
Does anybody
There's some
do that?
restaurants. Well, if you want to play the Mind. Zing! Oh, hey, I played the game finally.
You've never played the game?
I never played the game before. When I went to China, this lady's like, "You gotta play the game," so we
What game
played
are you
it.
talking about?
No, it's called The Game.
What game?
Come on.
Okay.
Really, you fell for it even once?
Sorry, I
You
thought it
waited
was
too
me.
long to ask.
There's too many trolls at the Dice Tower.
I'm sorry. I apologize for us all.
I can see why you compared it to the Mind, though.
I did not, I think, but okay.
I think there's some similarities between the two.
No, they're both bad?
I mean, they're both like a deck of cards that's 1 through 100. I mean, it's the same exact playing pieces.
I like the Mind better than the game. The game is a cooperative game that you are trying to play these numbers in a certain order, and it has that
The
rule
Mind is
about
also-
you can't really communicate, but you kind of can communicate.
Wait, are you talking
and
about
what
the
you
game
can-
or are you talking about the mind?
the game? Do you consider
Because
the
it
Mind
sounded
a
like
game?
you were explaining the mind right there.
No, in the game there is 2 cards that are 100 and 2
I
cards that are
hate this
1.
conversation, by the way.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
Listen, better than the game, though, is a game called Okie Dokie that TMG, I think, put out, and it's a very similar idea. Much cleaner, prettier, better. So I got rid of the game and kept Okie Dokie.
Stronger, faster, better,
Donkier.
donkier.
International Drive has awful traffic issues, someone says. I don't disagree on that, especially if you are wanting to eat supper, you should try to eat it early or later. If you go during rush hour, like between 4:30 and 6:30, I wouldn't go International Drive. However, if you turn and not go on International Drive and go around behind the hotel, there's a ton of restaurants back there.
Yes.
And those restaurants, and there's almost no traffic going
If
that
you're
way.
leaving the hotel and you turn right, you're going to be going up International Drive. But if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
turn
yeah, yeah.
left, and then at the next light, you take another left, there's a bunch of stuff up there. That's
And
where the
and that
Publix is,
road
too.
has very little traffic.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's
Comparatively so, at least.
and there's a lot of chain stuff there. Like there's what's the all-you-can-eat place?
CC's?
No,
Golden
Golden
Corral.
Corral. And I don't normally like Golden Corrals, but that one is not bad. It's usually quiet. And that guy in the past years, he's giving us 10% discount.
That guy? Who's that guy?
Well, the manager of the place. He was like, "Oh, I know board games."
That guy.
And then there's that place. What's the
Plays
place
the
with the
game.
milkshakes and the burgers?
Steak and Shake.
No, it's like Steak and Shake, but
Milkshakes
it's a
and
different
burgers?
one.
Burgers and Shakes? Shake Shack.
Shake Shack. No, that
that's-
is a Shake.
It's not Shake Shack.
It's Shake Shack.
That
Anyway,
wasn't a joke.
Fuddruckers?
no. Although I would love a Fuddruckers.
I had a pastor at the end of church one time announce
No, I know where this is going already.
a group excursion
And he said it incorrectly,
to
right?
Fuddruckers one time, but he said it the other way around.
Are you kidding?
He turned beet red when he did it too. He was like, "Yeah, we're going to Rudd," and it was
Seriously?
Yes,
That's amazing.
Yes.
Did you laugh?
Oh, I laughed hard.
You didn't feel like bad?
That's
No,
hilarious,
you
You
man.
should have been like, I never.
Well, I declare.
That's gold.
Is the parking lot as bad as people say? People say park and never leave.
Yes.
The parking lot is bad, but I always did find a spot.
Yeah.
I mean, so
you do.
you
It's
might have
just-
to walk farther
Yeah.
getting back, but life is what it is, you know?
How dare you make us walk, sir? We're gamers.
Sam, are you going to paint your Memoir 44 air pack?
No.
What's in there? Little planes?
Yeah.
I believe I heard Sam say this morning he was never going to paint again. It's what I heard. I believe.
Actually, what I said was I don't believe I'm going to ever paint for other people again.
Laminate your cards, play in the pool.
No.
Why would you do that? I mean, technically, yeah, you could play your card on the water and it float there.
That pool is pretty big and pretty splashy.
Yes, it is.
You'd be like, there's my card. What's my card say, kid?
Yeah, really. They do make those plastic cards that are completely
I heard Sam is
waterproof.
playing the
Yeah.
mind in the hot games area.
You heard wrong.
Alrighty. A shirt.
The game is just too easy to
I'm
break.
wondering, those of you who are coming and are watching the video now, what are you looking forward to?
That's
What's-
true. Oh, Freddy's. Freddy's. That's right. That's the place I was talking about. The
That's what I
shakes and
said.
it.
Freddy's like,
Freddy's Shake Shack is what it's called. He's buying it.
I go to Freddy's every year like 2 or 3 times.
little wheels turning.
Because Freddy's is open till 11. We've gone there after shows some nights. We do the show and we're done and we're like, I'm
That's
kind of hungry. It's
Steak
that place
and
that has
Shake.
those. No, it's Freddy's. If it was Steak and Shake, you would know because we'd still be there 3 hours after we made the order waiting for our food.
I never had that experience with Steak and Shake. I always thought they were quick.
What?
It depends on the one we go to.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Okay, well, the one that's halfway between here and Orlando,
Yes.
skip it. That one that's at exit 150 or whatever it's at, yeah, I've been there a lot because it's halfway. But exit 75 is that sushi restaurant. I've been thinking about that on the way up.
I think I'm going to do that myself on the way up. 75, is it?
Yeah,
I might
75.
bug you because I'll forget. But be like, hey, where
If I
is
get
that?
a thing from you, I'll be like, exit 150. Zee gets out like, where is it?
Keep going. It's there. Just keep legging.
What's going on? I'm in Tallahassee. I can't find it. Keep going.
No, we don't troll people about where we're eating.
Tom always
dinner.
finds parking because he's there early to sit up.
Ever.
No. I know that when we left and come back late at night, I'm like, man, there's almost no parking in this place. But there is those big parking lots on the side, and you have to walk.
You're far away, but yeah.
whatever.
Look,
I don't
it's
care.
a given. Yeah, parking is going to be tight.
However, they are charging people for parking who
you're-
are not staying at the hotel.
Yeah.
So that should hopefully alleviate it. And I find it fascinating that people complain about that. If you're not paying for the hotel, which helps run the con, then you should pay for parking. It seems
Which-
reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with parking being tight.
I saw someone in the Dice Tower Facebook group say he laminates his cards and his board games, not sleeves them. I would never do that because I don't know how you would cut them all the same. Sleeves are all the same size.
He may have a
Punch?
machine that does it.
You mean like a precision cutting machine?
Maybe he does. I don't know. People
Those
have
things
a
are
lot of things.
Those things are expensive.
The problem with that is, look,
or board games.
sleeves.
Different level.
No. Sleeves. The problem with sleeves is if I take a deck of cards that I just freshly sleeved and I shuffle it 1,000 times, they gain friction rather. They'll start sticking together. You wear off a layer. The same thing will happen to laminated cards, except you can't pull them out of the sleeve and put a new one on it. That's crazy talk. You are permanently changing the cards at that point. You know, a heat transfer lamination on the cards? Man, no. That's wild.
Is this Chris's first Dice Tower Con?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is his first convention.
It's not Roy's first Dice Tower
Yeah.
Con. Roy's been to all
He's
of
never
them.
been outside of the house, I think.
Well,
He's been like to the last
He
three,
lived up
right?
in Alaska.
Yeah, he's never been anywhere. We're definitely keeping an eye on him just to make sure he doesn't, walk out into the
you've
pool
seen-
area on a company.
You've seen the Iceman Cometh, right? It's kind of the same thing.
We'll take care of him. It's not-
Yeah, well, he'll be okay.
Pandasaurus will be showing an early release of Pastally. Oh, that's right. It's going to be there. I'll have to check
what?
that one. Pastally.
Pass.
Pastally. That's what Hunter
Okay.
said.
Pass.
So-
Pastalize.
That will be there. We can check that out. New games announced at the con. We don't have anything new being announced at the con that I know of. We do our new games announcements at our big show at Gen Con.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here we have Dice Tower Awards.
Yep.
We do the game show. We do the auctions. We do the top 5 annoying gamers, which is Zee, Sam, Zee again.
I'll tell you what.
Twice.
Tell you what. If you are worried about what game announcements are happening at Dice Tower Con, you need to stop that whole Cult of the Future thing, show up at Dice Tower Con, and play some games that are out now.
It's really
And
fascinating.
good sir, just made the list of
Oh.
top 5 annoying people.
Good
Oh,
man.
look at all these new games. They all look so good. What's coming out next year, though?
Play these now. Like, for example, look at the
Come
hot
on.
games tables. I think there's 30 games. How many people watching this video have played even half those games? And I know, Trey, you're out there. But I'm not even sure you have.
Challenge accepted.
I haven't seen the list, so I can't say, but I'm pretty sure.
Well,
I
actually, let's go over the list then. That's
Do
okay.
it, fool. I have enough fingers.
have. Nope, you don't.
It's 30. I got this.
You gonna reuse some? You got your toes.
I got my
Let me-
toesies. Between my fingers and my toes, 30. I wouldn't think. I wouldn't
I
jump
don't
to
want-
conclusions.
Please don't take your shoes off, okay?
Really?
Uncurl.
Goodness.
Have you ever seen that Martian movie with Terminator? Yeah, that's
No.
that one. The mutants. What's that called? Recall. Total Recall. Yeah.
Is that nothing about a guy with?
Somebody with
Guy-
30 toes?
Oh,
in
one
there?
guy who
No,
brings out an extra
he said-
hand and has like.
He said 20 toes, not 30, because he
Oh.
said 30 digits.
Yeah,
I think was his.
Digits.
Are you talking about the leader
one-
of the rebellion?
Well, that guy has like a weird
Like,
baby in his
little
belly.
head sticking out here.
But then one guy like takes off a fake arm and has another arm that comes out of that.
And it was like tentacly and all that?
No, he's got just weird fingers or something. Point is, extra toes is fine. Where's the list, man? Here we go.
I'm looking for it. I posted it on
The
the
mind.
Facebook group, but I think it got.
The game.
Okay, here we go.
Chupacabra survived the
Bosk.
night. Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Brass Birmingham.
Nope.
But you didn't like that one.
I played it.
Bunny Kingdom and the expansion. No, put your hand down. They're together. Century New World.
Played.
Oh, you have played it. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Conspiracy. All right. Crown of Amara. Dead Men's Cabal. Dinogenics.
Yeah, we played that here.
Yeah, Drop It. Escape Plan. No one's played that here. We just cracked up it. Expansity.
I don't know.
Hentes.
That's the Gente. No, don't do that. We're live.
He said it correctly. Hangtes is right.
Grim
No, it's
Masquerade.
Gentes.
Grim Masquerade.
The Grand Masquerade.
Yeah, we played that.
Hadera. Lord of the Rings Journeys into Middle Earth. Master of Respect. Oh yeah, I taught you guys that. Nemesis. Pandemic Rapid Response. Pipeline. Point Salad. Pulsar 2049.
Oh,
That's still on the hot games though.
it was
It's
never
good.
was. It never was.
Quacks of Quedlingburg.
I haven't played that
You
yet.
still haven't played that yet.
Neither
I
have
was busy playing the
Good game.
Pulsar game.
Root. Sierra West. Smartphone. Space Base with everything.
He's having way too much fun with us doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Space Gate Odyssey. Star Wars Outer Rim.
Okay, I'm.
Take Tehuacan with the expansion. Ticket to Ride London. Underwater Cities. Vindication.
No, we've done Underwater Cities.
You have not done Underwater
No,
Cities.
I haven't.
I thought we played it live.
No, no.
Oh, I'm thinking of that. Okay, yeah.
Vindication. Wingspan. That's it.
So I played 16.
Ooh, that is half.
I did 12,
But
which is
still.
a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, that's like us here at the Dice Tower talking about that. Most people have not played most of those games.
True.
You can't, and that's not talking about games that I cut from the list because I knew publishers were going to be there showing them
Yeah.
off anyway, like Tiny Towns, for example, and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. It's going to be there. Yeah, there's so many games to play.
Those
You shouldn't be
those
worried about
hot
new
games
game
tables are going to
announcements.
be popping, folks. Lots of good games in there.
Alrighty, well, we're almost done here because
I wonder. Outer Rim is the one that's in our library, right? We're taking it up, right?
And we're taking it up
yeah,
now, you mean?
yeah.
I could bring my Rogues and Villains pack from Armada
Does that work?
and make it a little bit cooler.
Like putting bits in it from a different game?
Yeah, there's because Armada, not X-wing. X-wing, the pieces are too big. But with Armada, the freighters and the fighters are smaller, and they're
right.
almost the right size.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
We got a quick thing about from Brian. He said, testing your memory. Remember the top 10 list you had to redo because Tom deleted the first one. The
I
deleted
remember
one
that
is
happening.
on YouTube. I just watched it.
The deleted one?
What did they
How
just
is that
watch?
possible?
No, you're mixing two things together. We deleted one time, and then we never redid it because we were just like, meh. But we also did a list twice.
Yes.
So, and no one caught that, I like to say. All of us, but
That is true.
us, the video editor, none of us caught
Well,
that.
we also, I'm not going to explain this, but 3 times 4 is 12.
Yes.
I'm going to leave that one there. We're keeping that one on the inside, folks.
Yes, that is true.
But, you know, hey, these
Is
things
that
happen.
still written on the board out there?
No.
I don't know. It could be.
But anyway, these things do happen. Yeah, we did it twice.
Yeah, no, the one we deleted.
Hopefully both are valid and
I-
entertaining.
I remember which one we deleted, though. It was 2006. It was in
Is that what it was?
2016. It was a 10-year-old retrospect, or it was 2005. But whatever it was, Twilight Imperium was on it. And it was like a list made for Sam. He was like, because 10 years ago, Fantasy Flight.
Oh, man.
And we went all on this, and then I don't know how it got deleted. It just did.
Yeah.
That was back
It
when
happens.
when I did the video editing, and there was a lot more mistakes being made.
Nah, I don't know about that, but it happens. I mean,
Did you see how I tried to be nice, and he just was like, smash it down?
no, I meant like you. It
Too
sounded
late.
like self-deprecation.
Too
You were
late.
saying a
No.
lot more
That was
mistakes were being made.
glorification.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I'm saying you did not make that many mistakes any more than the rest of us.
Right.
I'm trying to lift you up. I lift you up.
All right, if you're coming to
when
Dice Tower
you
Con-
look like that monkey's partner. I lift you up. Oh my God.
All right, I will see you guys at Dice Tower Con. Come by and say hi to us. We'll be scattered all over, and not just us will be there. Eric Summer will be there. Mandy will be there. Crystal and Amby will be there. Roy will be there.
And Chris will be there for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's right. And
Don't
Kenny.
talk to him. No loud
If he's not
noises.
wearing his floaties, please let us know.
These guys need to get home. All right, we got some more packing and things to prepare, but we are pretty close to as ready as we can get. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Get excited, people.
And bring in
It's
some
gonna be
loose
good.
change. If you want to get a new game collection, it's possible. Wednesday night.
Very close.
That is a lot of games.
You can spend a lot of money too, but I mean, but it's an auction.
I think you could spend a little bit of money if no one else bids on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come ready
You
for
could
that.
come out with a real steal.
I might be like 10 games for $1. Of course, then
I've
someone
seen
will
it
be like
happen.
2.
Oh, it's an auction. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see. All righty. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Zee Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
Sam Healy, welcome and goodbye. See you on the flip side.
What?